What's up, everybody? Legacy here with another episode of Critical Points. We got the roundtable and we got the boys back. Today we're going to be talking about Critical Ops 1.0 beta release and 1.1, as well as the Valiance Invitational Autumn tournament that's coming up. It actually starts tomorrow. So here we have Turtle Nuggets, Coco, and Media back. Say what's up to everyone.
I am Turtle Nuggets. You should follow me on Twitter.
Coco.
What's up, Media here?
Media's there. What's up, Coco?
What's up? Coco right here, bro.
All right. No, it's early for you guys, so thanks for being on here. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about 1.0 and the updates. What are your guys' thoughts, and have you guys got to try it out yet?
I've played it a good amount. Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So first off, let's get into these fake character models that are coming. Because I'm not even joking about those. I mean it. That stuff has to be for real. Like, I swear, they're going to put female character models. They're going to keep this crouch, and we're going to get some Fortnite thickness in this game.
The Fortnite thickness. Now, what about the animations? I feel like the animations are also a lot different as well. Like
the character models look amazing. Like on Terra's side, sometimes the guys are just wearing, like, instead of orange outfits, like black outfits, and they're just all blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so sick. I think there's like 2 characters that get that every round, and 3 people who get normal.
Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of how you you used to be able to pick in CS again to start, so maybe they'll allow you to do that. Coco, have you
character model?
Yeah, the character model.
Yeah, and cool. Like older CS versions, like CS 1.6, before you would begin the game, it would like let you select a character.
Yep. So the new character models and the new factions, the preseason. Did you guys look and see what they have in plan for November to /December 1.1 at all?
I
saw something that you put on Twitter. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what
all I saw was Critical Pass, Season 1, and the new knife.
The new knife Karambit's coming out. So that'll be.
Oh, that's 1.1. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be 1.1. So that's definitely exciting. So overall gameplay? I was playing it last night and I feel like it definitely plays a little different. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Somebody else go first on that.
Oh yeah, Coco, go first.
All right. So I was playing it. Obviously, the first main issue I saw is the tallness of the characters. It's broken. The height. It's like,
oh my god, yeah.
You're taller, so when you're actually playing, there's so many head glitch spots, and it's just broken. I know they're working on fixing that, but right now.
Yeah, wait. Let me say this. Like, on Grounded, I saw a guy who was you know the boxes when you're leaving B long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was head glitching those boxes standing up.
Wow.
I
thought it was a bug because he was flashed, and I was spectating, but no, you can like legit look over those boxes.
Yeah, they need to fix that because there's like so many head glitch spots that it's like.
And crouching is even lower now.
Oh, dude, I was playing and I was playing on Plaza, and like when you're going towards
the map is coming up into my mind too.
You're going towards A site, and I'm like looking forward, and I don't even know if the characters are alive or dead because the crouching is way too low.
Mm-hmm.
No, for me, it's like I was going over to A on Plaza, and like Banana, right underneath the stairs. The guy was in that little divot on the right side when you're coming in from T side. So I hit that angle. I flick over to one tap him in the crouch position where people usually sit, and I'm like 3 inches above his head because of the new crouch. Or like usually I'd be hitting these one taps like no problem because I've been practicing them, and all of a sudden now they're just taking away. First they take away my first shot accuracy while walking and not running, and now they take away my ability to like know where their head's gonna be.
I don't know if anyone has noticed this, but is there something different on the ragdolls like when they fall?
Oh yeah, their animations are definitely different.
It just looks like they just straight up just fall.
Yeah, like they just go limp.
Yeah, it's very weird, and that's the same reason why I don't know when a character is alive or dead unless like the crosshair goes red when they're crouching, because sometimes when they just like fall, it looks exactly like when they crouch.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to notice like are they alive or are they dead unless my crosshair goes red.
If they're just gonna straight up fall, then that's gonna take away from like the diversity and the hilarious positions people fall to their like fall down in. You know, like sometimes there would be like a body on top of another body in like the perfect situation. Like, you can find some great stuff. Like I found a guy who looked like he was walking around while he was downed in PUBG, and I edited that to where a PUBG guy was reviving him on Plaza.
Wow. Did you guys get any of the Halloween skins at all?
Yeah, I got a good amount.
Yeah. Do you guys like any of them?
I like some of them, not the ones I got.
Of course. That's how it always works.
I got the AK one.
Nice.
And that thing is like pretty ugly because the resolution, it's like pixelated kind of even on the highest resolution of the game.
Oh, I see.
Maybe I need to do higher anti-aliasing, but I'm not trying to drain my battery.
True. All right. Let's segue into the Valiance Autumn season. So it starts tomorrow, and it's gonna be just like the other invitational. So two regions, Americas and the Eurasia, so North and South America versus Europe and Asia, and they're gonna battle for basically global dominance here. So let's get into thoughts and predictions on who we think's gonna make it out. Obviously, there's been some roster changes and some team movement, all that kind of stuff. So let's start with the one we most know about. Let's start with NA. So we have Hammers, U4X, Impreza, and Public Enemy. What are your guys' thoughts on? Let's talk about Knight going to Hammers, King A and Lewis coming to U4X, Preza coming back, and then I guess what was it? S Gen? No, not S Gen. Who was the team that turned into Public Enemy?
Seminole.
Seminole, yeah, you're right, Seminole. My bad. And so let's start with Coco first on this one.
Okay, so my thoughts on Knight joining Hammers, definitely a big boost for them. Obviously, they've been getting that second place a lot recently in a lot of tournaments, and I think just having Knight in there, someone with who had great experience at top level with GS, I think definitely will help them. Potentially even could help them win this season. I kind of feel Hammers have been grinding a lot and practicing a lot, and it's their time to take first place. In terms of Impreza coming back, right now I feel they just came back. All of a sudden they're back, and then they get invited to Valiance. They have just a few days to prepare. I don't think they're gonna do much this season, just because of the fact that they just came back. They don't have enough time to prepare. So we'll see how they do. I personally don't think they're gonna do too much. As for U4X, D2R, obviously you guys won last season, so people are expecting a lot from you guys, as well as myself. I hope to see Hammers and U4X battle it out again. That's going to be good if that match happens. For Public Enemy, I think they're the underdogs here. I've seen how they've played. I've seen them in scrims and stuff, and I think they could surprise some people in this tournament.
Okay. Nuggets, what are your thoughts?
I think for NA, I'd have to go with Hammers over Impreza, since Impreza's team is a little bit more newly formed to their five, because Vulcan was really trying hard to make sure that was ironed out for this invitational.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Hammers really have that in the bag for their first map, at least until Impreza can really get a hang on who they're playing with and where people need to be if they haven't already done that in these past few days, which isn't really a lot of preparation time for a team. And with Knight joining in, just like Coco said, he has experience at the top level, but not even just that. He has experience dominating the top level and being one of the main reasons his team was able to do it. So I think he's going to be...
he has great experience, but how do you think he's going to do with their team chemistry?
I think that the Hammers guys are pretty chill.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I think that a lot of people would be able to go in with their team. Like, I mean, it's kind of like how STDX is really, really chilled out. So most of the EU teams, if you go into the STDX server, like wherever they're frequenting at this point in their VCs, like pretty much all of EU is hanging out around them, or like the biggest guys in EU just sit around talking to them. Angel, Cuba, I think Cuba goes talks to them a lot still, but I haven't talked to the STDX guys much recently. But that would segue us. Oh no, you haven't even given your
Media, you're up.
My personal opinion, I think U4X is probably going to take it again, just because they have amazing team chemistry. They work really well together, and they've been working hard, trying to compete with everyone. Although Knight is very clutch, and he definitely has been doing this a long time, and will provide Hammers with, honestly, the extra missing player that they need, I think, to take it. So it's going to be a tough season between U4X and Hammers. Honestly, like they've been saying in Preza, since they haven't really been practicing much and just coming back into it, I think they're going to have a tough time playing against Hammers at the beginning. But honestly, I think Insanity Killers is going to take it against Hit's team, because I haven't seen them play either. And then between Reapers and IDS Gaming, it's a toss-up right now, because I haven't seen either of those teams play as well.
Okay. I'm gonna give my predictions. So obviously with King A and Lewis coming over from Gangstars, on paper it makes the team look better, if just not as good as last season. But you do have to have that chemistry to build, to know everyone's positions and how they play and their play style. So the gameplay and style might be a lot different for U4X this season. And excuse me. So we'll just have to see how that pans out. I do think that U4X will take the best of 3 in the first match, and then as far as the other side with Impreza and Hammers, I do think adding Knight to the Hammers roster is a huge move, because Knight does have that experience, like you guys said. He has the clutch gene, and he brings confidence, and then also that patience and experience that I feel like maybe they have lacked in the past. So I don't know. I talked to Vulcan. They're building their team up, and I don't. The best of 3 changes a lot of things. And you never know. I think maybe there might be a split on one of those 2 games. We'll just have to see. But my predictions for NA is going to be going to U4X playing against Hammers, and we'll have to see who battles off from there. So those are my thoughts, and I don't necessarily know if there's going to be some massive wipes, but we'll just have to see. So I'm sure if any team wants to prove something the most, it's going to be the former Seminole players that are now in Public Enemy, and they're the underdogs. And we all know when underdogs are backed up against a cage, they're going to try the hardest because they have nothing to lose. Do you guys think there's any possibility of any upsets in the North American region? We'll start with Turtle Nuggets first.
For upsets, if there's going to be an upset, I'd say it's going to be Vulcan's team versus Hammers. That would be like the biggest upset, because a lot of people are expecting Knight to really shift the way the team plays. And I forgot to touch on U4X and Public Enemy. I think U4X has that one, since King A just has such an ability to change the way a VC is going from the times that I have been around him, because he's just so joking, and like when he's taking things serious, he's taking them seriously. But if he sees it get too serious, from what I've seen, he'll always try to revert it. Do some kind of he'll start rapping or something like that to make people laugh.
You freestyling the VC while they're in the match.
Yeah, just to calm people down. I mean, that's something I could really see happening with them. But in the best of 3, that's where I think that a team like U4X, which has had a lot more practice than most of these teams, I think, maybe besides the exception of like Hammers, if you don't include Knight being a newer player, then I think that's where it's going to go. Because how long has King A have King A and Lewis been on the team?
I would say for over a month now.
Yeah, so they've had they're sitting in their honeymoon period.
Lewis has been in
warmed up.
U4X before that.
Yeah, he was previously in D2R.
Yeah, I know he was in D2R before.
So.
And then the LAN happened, and he played for GS there, right? And he switched again.
Yeah.
Correct. Coco, what are your thoughts?
Little clan hopper.
Any upsets?
I think for these two games, I think Hammers versus Impreza. I think Hammers has this. And same thing with U4X and Public Enemy. I feel U4X has those games just based off uh recent performance by both teams that I've seen. I've played Impreza recently. We played Hammers. And I just feel just based off their performances that Hammers and U4X are going to win this week's games.
Um, any surprise on the teams that were invited? Because obviously, Hammers and D2R, now U4X, were invited based off their placements, and
All
the
right.
other two teams, Impreza and Public Enemy, were the ones invited by Valiance and CFE, I believe. What are your guys' thoughts on the invites?
I'll start on this one. So obviously, Public Enemy has shown their performance in past tournaments, and I think them getting invited was good. Was a good invite. Personally, from Impreza, they just came back. They aren't ready. I feel the Lions should have focused on a different team on this one, just because again, Impreza, yes, they have a name for themselves. They played last season, but they just came back. I feel they should have just focused on a different team, given Impreza time to practice and get ready for the winter season.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there should have been like a qualifier? You know how South America, since they're back, they did a qualifier to see which teams were going to be in representing South America. Do you feel like there should have been a qualifier for that?
But possibly, I mean, there is some teams that uh, could uh, could have been there, and I feel maybe if it was just qualified for one spot, it would have been good. Because right now, I feel like I said, Impreza just came back. I just 3-4 days to practice. It just isn't good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think that leads towards the winter season, to where usually they do like a ladder qualification kind of thing. So, and I don't know what their thought process was behind it, but I'm sure they had their reasons. Um, Media, do you have any thoughts on any upsets?
Honestly, I don't see an upset between Hammers or Impreza. I think Hammers are going to take it, just from what I've seen last season. And if there's going to be an upset, I think it will possibly be with U4X and Public Enemy. I hate to say it, but they have a lot of pressure on their hands this season for going undefeated last season. So
True.
we'll just wait and see what happens.
Oh yeah, we haven't really touched on that. What are your guys' thoughts on U4X joining the critical ops scene? We'll start with Turtle on this one.
Well, I think it's pretty big, personally. I mean, I think it's good for the scene. We just had Gangstar's exit, but we still have we have bigger we have not bigger teams. Well, I guess Nova is a bigger team than Gangstar's worldwide, but I would say in terms of the strength in the game right now, in the presence of orgs, it's doing decently well. It's growing, and I think it's only going to grow from there. And with U4X getting into the scene, it can only really advance that situation.
Coco, your thoughts?
Definitely like Turtle is. I think it's big also. Especially how the scene is right now. With US leaving and pros leaving and other teams just disbanding. I think there's just
and then the next day the anti-cheat comes out.
Plot twist in the scene where it's like it gives it some life again, and it could help the community out.
I agree. So let's take a look at the actual matches for tomorrow. The actual matches are gonna be, where's it? So starting at 7 p.m. BRT, Insanity Killers versus Hits Team, then Reaper Souls versus IDS Gaming, then Hammers Esports versus Impreza, and U4X versus Public Enemy. And what are you guys' thoughts on the matches being on a Sunday instead of Saturday? I guess last year the EU and SA was on Sunday. What are you guys' thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's better on a Sunday because I feel like kids still have a lot going on in school too.
True, but
With
if it's scheduled
sports
so
and
late,
stuff. Yeah, that's
then
true.
they got school on the next day.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like sports and stuff they do for some of the kids on the weekend.
True. Turtle, what do you think would be the best outcome for the Valiance tournament as far as which team would win? And you can pick a team from any region, NA, SA, EU.
STDX is better than every team in this tournament.
You know what? I'm glad you bring that up because I think it's time for STDX to win a big tournament.
I think it's been time for them to just really just show up and start to dominate
like
the
that.
EU region. It would be really nice if they didn't get that awful clip on them from Viral where Bates gets knifed at the end, but you know, that'll be promo forever.
Oh.
And I don't know. They've been getting more into it from the last time I talked to them. I don't know if they've still been doing that because it has been a little bit since I asked Bates about that.
Hmm.
But I'm sure that they've been getting their practice in where they can. And I know that a big thing last season that hindered them was the fact that Bates was having to play on an older model iPad that was inconsistent frames all the way through. I think he had to play on 30 FPS and it would still go down sometimes. So yeah, he was definitely in a detrimental situation last season.
So you had a handicap, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of, but
yeah.
He's supposed to be one of the legends of the scene, really.
Correct.
I agree. So
I agree. And what do you guys like? Because I like this format. It's NA, basically NA and SA that form to be the Americas versus EU and Asia. So it has that which region is better without it literally being each part. What region do you think is most important to win this title? We'll go with Coco on this one.
I think North America. Obviously, after LAN, they sort of proved North America being the best region, and they want to keep that title, you know? So I think it's important for the Americas regions to win this one. I know South America has a lot of passion for the game. And we haven't talked too much about South America. Obviously, we don't know a lot of their teams. They could surprise us. You know, they could surprise us this season. So, but I definitely see a team in the Americas winning this one.
Yeah, South America usually does to everybody in the world. They just like come out into a game and start dominating it just completely out of the blue.
Yeah, I think since South America finally gets to come back, I think they're excited. My pick for South America is going to be Insanity Killers. I think they have the most upside, but they also, I believe, in one of the last tournaments they played, there was a lot of upsets in the groups, and everything went to like final matches. So we'll have to see about that. If I had to pick a team from Asia, I'm gonna go with. Let me think here. I know there's the two newer teams, and Kings disbanded, so I'm gonna go with. Let me see here. This is actually kind of tough here because I remember reading the articles, and there's players.
Is there one other team, Unicorns?
Yeah, so it's CSPG, SpaceX, Unicorns, and Night Sky Rangers. So
I'm gonna give it to Unicorns from Asia.
You're going with Unicorns, okay? So we got one for Unicorns.
Yeah, I know some of their players, and I've known like former teams that some of them have been in. I think they got this. I know they've been performing really good from stuff that I've been seeing. So.
I know some of the players from CSPG won't be able to play, I think is what I read on an article.
Is Learn from Past coming back?
No, they're not coming back. A lot of teams disbanded, and then they formed and made new teams. So I think I'm gonna go with CSPG. That's the team I'm going for. So in South America, I'm going with Insanity Killers. Europe, I'm going to go with Vision Gaming. In North America, I'm going to go with U4X. Turtle, let's get your predictions for each region. Those are great predictions right there.
All right, I'll go. I think I'll go with U4X for North America. I want to see a new team in South America, so I want to see Reaper Souls take it. And then I guess for Asia, I'll see CSPG. And then for Europe, I want to see STDX finally take one as well.
All right, Coco, who you got?
Okay, so like I mentioned for Asia, I'm going with Unicorns from North America, I'm gonna have to give it to Hammers. They need to get their first win. South America, I don't know too much about that scene, so I'm gonna stay quiet on that one. I kind of just want to see how South America plays out. As for Europe, Set to Destroy.
Set to Destroy, and then we know Turtle Nuggets wants Set to Destroy to win, so we'll just give his prediction to be Set to Destroy. I don't know where he went, but I'm pretty sure that's good enough for today and kind of concludes our podcast.
Oh, I was muted. Wait, no, I got.
Oh, he's back! He's back, everybody! He's like sitting there talking to himself.
Yeah,
honestly, I thought you were just cutting out on my end.
You interrupted me, and I thought you were just memeing me.
No,
or that like I answered when you asked for media. So I was like, oh, I must have fucked up here or messed up, you know. But the Asian region, I'm going with CSPG just because of their history and STDX. Like you said, I want them to win the world. I want everyone to be a fan of STDX. They have the best, most relatable players. In terms of that, like the most fun people to hang out with in a VSC for sure in the whole world. What do you call it? Crap. For North America, I'm gonna go with. Man, it's tough between Hammers and U4X. It's so tough, yeah. Especially with team changes, it makes it like an almost impossible decision. I know for a fact that it's gonna go to third map. Like, can I say just that? I can't really.
Yeah, well, the finals.
I would be rooting for U4X because of Lewis.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, it's so you got to make the pick with your heart or based off on your knowledge, which is the tough thing here.
Yeah, with the knowledge, it's almost impossible just because of how evenly matched they look, first and second, and it can go either way with those two teams for sure. Especially with one team could just be having an off day.
True.
But if it's just top level for both teams, then I think I'd go with U4X. Is Cam going to be able to play?
Cam is not playing.
Mm-mm.
So that's a game changer as well. Last season they had Cam, so I mean.
Yeah, he's not playing anymore at all,
huh? Not for a while.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I also just I was in my heart. I was like, man, if they have Cam on the team, then they can still do pretty much anything. But he brings like an X factor.
I agree. And then your pick for South America.
It's Insanity Killers all the way, just because of how long they've been together.
Insanity
and
Killers.
How established they are in that region.
Okay. I think we should do something fun based on our picks. So everyone kind of remember your picks, and as the season goes and progresses, we should do something interesting based on who has the least amount correct.
Maybe in the future we could set up like a fantasy league thing.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
Where people could like pick players and stuff like that, because I know they do like fantasy league templates that are really easy to find on websites.
That'd be definitely really cool. So, any final thoughts? We'll go to final thoughts with Turtle Nuggets first.
Final thoughts 1.0. There's stuff they need to fix, but most of it is awesome. I really want them to add gloves into the game. After looking at the CT model or coalition model, whatever, there's still a C and a T in there. Those just look so good. That like the hands on there just look so good when they're fully in gloves, because they don't have to try and make those sharp turns with finger animations. And I don't know. I also just waiting for that Karambit, because I got the blue credits. I'm just gonna buy it right away.
Nice. Coco, final thoughts.
I think we talked about everything we had to talk about here. Just talking about what Turtle Nuggets just said. That knife, I'm waiting for that knife too. I have a lot of blue credits and I'm waiting to buy it too.
Nice. Media, final thoughts?
Honestly, this is just for the teams. I just would like to see some upsets, big ones this year. So.
All right. Well, you guys.
I want to see Hot do super well this season from Hammers. I want to see that little kid he's like 13. I want to see him kill it. Because he was awesome at LAN, and he's only been improving upon his gameplay. He's always posting clips of how well he's just awesome plays. Mm-hmm. So I really want to see some of those live.
Absolutely, and think about to be that young playing in a LAN like that takes a lot of guts. So, but anyways, once again, I'm Legacy for Critical Points, saying thanks for everyone for tuning in. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Maybe we'll do some merch in the future if you want to help support the podcast and stuff. But we're done for today, and we'll be back next week with our, next round predictions and see how bad or good we did. And that's about it, guys. So say Peace.
Later, dudes. Thank you.
Peace.
Goodbye.